evening. It's Tuesday, the 16th of February 2021. Book for the day: Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees. And I've been reading to you a story that was written by Noha Nasser, entitled Amina's Diary, a journey crossing the borders to human unity. And Amina had reached the jungle in Calais, and she was walking down the street, and she saw this graffiti written on one of the buildings: "We just want to go to England, please." 2 women walked towards me. One is pregnant. They are from Eritrea. They look at me with suspicion. Is this a place where no one trusts anyone? I heard about the violence that erupted between the Sudanese and Afghans in May. 5 charity workers, 2 police officers, and more than 30 migrants have been injured when fighting broke out. A good part of the Sudanese quarter had been razed to the ground. The Sudanese are being persecuted everywhere, at home and abroad. But these people share one goal. Why aren't they collaborating? The Women and Children Centre has been set up to guarantee the security of the 400 women, girls and children in Sangao. The compound was heavily gated with barbed wire. I saw a few women hanging out their washing. I asked them to let me in. They called the supervisor, a European-looking woman, opened the gate and asked me if I had just arrived. She hurried me in. The compound is much better than the camp itself. It is clean, and the women and children live in well-built temporary buildings. There is a washing room in the corner. Children on bicycles play carefree, chasing each other. The main dining hall has paintings and sketches hung on the walls, signs that the women and children are getting classes. I was led into a small office, and there sat a gentleman. Behind him were charts with timetables and logistical lists. It looked quite an operation. He spoke to me politely. I was grateful for that. After seeing my papers, he showed me to one of the huge tunnel tents that occupied a good part of the grounds. I sighed. No real bed in the porter cabins for me. I was too exhausted to argue. I just wanted a place to settle my head and put my feet up. They were sore. He pulled away the thick plastic drapes that sealed the tent. It was dark inside, and it took me some time for my eyes to adjust. The tent was quite empty. A few sleeping bags were laid out along one side. I made out a figure sitting hunched in the corner. That silhouette looked familiar. I walked up to the figure and kneeled down. How could I forget that long, mousy, full-bodied brown hair, large green eyes, fair skin, small nose and thin lips. She was beautiful. My darling Rubina turned her face towards me. For a moment, she looked confused. Then, like the sun coming out from behind the clouds, her face transformed into a huge smile. We fell into each other's arms. I did not let her go. We finally stood up. She pointed to her young brother and sister sleeping. I couldn't wait to spend time with them again. And we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees, can be found on Amazon and on its Facebook page. Until tomorrow, Diane Hands, good night.